your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I'm Tamika Fox. In this week's broadcast, church testifies of growth in Christ, and children learn the art of preaching. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. In the Western community of New Providence, one church is progressing in its building initiatives and is hoping for continued prayers from the Adventist members. Michelle Green has more on this.
Over a decade ago, the members of the Adelaide Seventh-day Adventist Church started congregating as a result of a brand Sabbath school. Now they are excited as they continue their efforts in constructing a church building. We spoke with resident pastor Nikita Thompson as well as First Elder Lester Flowers as they share the goals and the growth of the Adelaide Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Pastor Toot developed his federation group, and the church grew out of the Southwest Federation. First Sabbath that they met as a Bright Sabbath school, they were on the beach. And I'm thinking the following Sabbath, they were in the Adelaide primary classroom. And though it was a Bright Sabbath school, it operated as a church.
According to Pastor Thompson, the physical church can encourage community members who are searching for a structured place of worship.
We can be more visible in the community and also for our church to grow. We do have a number of persons from different areas that comes to worship with us from time to time, but certainly we need active membership to grow.
Though small in number, the Adelaide Church has played a key role in the growth of Adventism here in Nassau, Bahamas.
Adelaide grew, expanded, and then contracted. So as a result, the Deadale Church, New Haven Church, and Empire Gambia Church were church out of Adelaide.
As the church continues its building efforts, the members request the assistance of the Adventist community here in the South Bahamas Conference.
The members of Adelaide have worked very hard prior to a year ago. We got to a roof on the building, 80 by 40 length sanctuary, and we got some assistance, etc. But really right now, we need financial help.
If you would like to pay it forward to the Adelaide Seventh-day Adventist Church, feel free to contact Pastor Nikita Thompson for more information. I'm Michelle Green reporting for the SBC Media Network.
June 21st and 22nd, 2024, the Living Faith Seventh-day Adventist Church became a mini-seminary as the Children and Adolescent Ministries Department of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists held a Child's Preachers Workshop. For the first time in the Charm Department Preachers Workshop history, presentations were made in English, Creole, and Spanish. The two-day workshop saw Pastor Manasseh Sims present to the adolescent group for English, Pastor Moise Abwa to the Creole adolescent group, Pastor Jamal Franklin to the children's English group, Pastor Wilson Isnord to the children Creole group, and Pastor Arthur Anguila to the combined Spanish group. Day 2 of the workshop was focused on sermon delivery, where children and adolescents from different cultural backgrounds showcased what they learned, from the principles of how to prepare a sermon to tips on stage presence and creativity in their writing process. The most important lesson taught by each pastor was the encouragement of sharing with the attendees the practice of spending time with God, reading His Word, and committing to memories the stories they read, thus making them powerful preachers. We continue graduation celebration with a special news story from Eleuthera. On June 17, 2024, Adventist youth scholar and head girl of the North Eleuthera High School, Kezia Johnson, graduated with top honors as the valedictorian of her class. Kezia's academic achievements were evident at the ceremony, and she shared with ATV News a reflection of that journey.
My high school tenure has been nothing short of amazing. I had an excellent time at North Luther High School, but I think my best years had to have been grade 11 and grade 12. Just to name a few, or we'd be here all day. In grade 11, I became the Junior Director of Tourism for Eleuthera, and I won the Bahamas Youth Climate Change Conference competition by the Office of the Prime Minister. As well, in the 12th grade, I became head girl and an Alpha Kappa Alpha Honors Day honoree. As well, in the month of June, I had the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to travel to Bonn, Germany on behalf of the government of the Bahamas at a subsidiaries board meeting from the UNFCCC, as well as I became valedictorian, along with my several subject awards.
When asked what her greatest accomplishment was, she had this to say.
One of my greatest accomplishments has been that I've never taken a Saturday class or broken the Sabbath by taking classes, and I was able to uphold my values and beliefs as a Seventh-day Adventist, but moreover as a child of God.
Looking ahead, the recent graduate has her eyes on furthering her academic pursuits.
In the future, I plan to become a speech and language pathologist, and I plan to take this in intervals and continue the work that I am doing for the Lord as well as in my academic journey.
Kazia ended the interview with these words of encouragement.
To those of you who are still in high school or even out of high school, always remember that your dreams can become a reality if you really work hard towards it.
When we come back, we will have more on what's coming up in the South Bahamas Conference.
I don't know if you're like me, but I've been picked on, I've been ridiculed, I've been made to feel like I was less than what I am. But when I view God as an artist, it makes me feel better about who He's created me to be. Now, the value of an artist's masterpiece is appraised in 3 different ways. 1, the time that the artist takes in order to create that masterpiece. In other words, if an artist takes 3 months to create something, it's worth more than if it took 3 days to create something else. Also, if the artist has any duplicates or copies of that particular piece of work. And if the reputation of the artist is great, then whatever that artist creates is also great. Now, what's beautiful about this is that God took His time to create man. The Bible tells us that He spoke everything else into existence, but He formed man of the dust of the ground. Also, there are no duplicates of you. You are the only one of you that God has made. And God has an amazing reputation. Now, this is wonderful because that means that the value of a masterpiece is not based on the condition that it's found in. It's based on the reputation of the artist. That means that if a masterpiece is found tattered or even torn, it still has value because of the artist who created it. And even if other people don't appraise it as being highly valuable, it will still mean the world to the artist. You still mean the world to God. You are God's masterpiece.
Welcome back to our Adventist News. And coming up in the South Bahamas Conference, the Youth Department continues their church's summer sports program with volleyball tournaments this Saturday, June 29th and July 6th. The basketball sessions will begin next month. The Three Angels Broadcasting Network, through ABN, will be hosting a special rally this weekend on Friday and Saturday, June 28th and 29th in Nassau, Bahamas. The rallies will be held at the Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church with special presentations by Greg and Jill Marconi, Danny and Yvonne Shelton, Ryan and Stephanie Day, Jason and Francine Bergman, and Reggie and Lady Love Smith. The South Bahamas Conference Youth Department concludes its one-week revival under the theme Ignites from June 29th at the Living Faith Adventist Church with speaker Elder Romiko Young. The United Voices presents World in Union, a multicultural celebration of praise and divine diversity. This concert will be held at the Hillview Church on July 7th, 2024 at 7 p.m. A love offering will be collected. Feel free to visit the South Bahamas Conference website at southbahamasconference.org to receive more information on all our upcoming conference events. There, you can also view a rebroadcast of our Adventist News Update along with other local programming from our cable channel ATV 658 and read the weekly logos as well as the Adventist page from the Nassau Guardian.
cancer is one of the most common types of cancer. The small intestine is less frequently affected by the disease, which is why the term bowel cancer is generally understood to mean colon cancer. The number of women and men diagnosed with bowel cancer is more or less the same. The risk of developing the disease increases significantly from the age of 50 onwards. Bowel cancer almost always presents as some small polyps, known as colorectal polyps. Preventative examinations are therefore incredibly important for people who face an increased risk. Such checkups make it possible to identify and remove these polyps at an early stage. The following risk factors make a person more likely to develop bowel cancer. Other family members who have suffered from bowel cancer, polyps in the colon, chronic inflammatory bowel diseases such as Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, excess body weight, or very little exercise. For a long time, bowel cancer exhibits very few symptoms or no symptoms at all. Important signs that could indicate bowel cancer include altered bowel movements, a need to defecate that does not result in a bowel movement, fluctuations between diarrhea and constipation, as well as blood in the stool. More general symptoms such as weight loss and tiredness can also point to bowel cancer. Bowel cancer very rarely causes stomach pains. A colonoscopy is carried out to diagnose the disease, so it is possible to make a definitive cancer diagnosis. The choice of treatment depends on how far the cancer has progressed.
Let's go now to the Adventist News Network with our news feature from around the world.
ADRA has launched a comprehensive relief effort in response to severe flooding in Brazil.
Severe flooding, which began in April, have affected approximately 2.3 million people, displacing hundreds of thousands in Rio Grande do Sul. On May 2nd, the region officially declared a state of emergency as the disaster has claimed 151 lives, with over 100 individuals still missing. ADRA immediately responded and has deployed a needs assessment team. They are working closely with local authorities, church volunteers, and partners to manage emergency operations and shelters. Key relief measures include distributing food, water, hygiene kits, clothing, and cash vouchers to the affected population. The agency's Solidarity Truck has been crucial, providing laundry services, meals, and clean water, supported by over 200 volunteers. To date, ADRA has distributed over 14,000 kilos of clean laundry, 8,600 cooked meals, 4,000 liters of water, and thousands of hygiene kits, clothing, and mattresses. The organization also offers psychosocial care and has partnered with UNICEF to establish safe spaces for children. ADRA Brazil continues to plan for long-term reconstruction to help communities rebuild.
Well, that's it for our Adventist news from the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. To share what is happening at your church, please email your news stories and upcoming events to sbcadventistnews@gmail.com. To view a rebroadcast of the Adventist news along with other programming and to keep in touch with what's happening at our conference, visit our website at southbahamasconference.org. The SBC Media Network's Facebook and Instagram pages are filled with lots of materials from the Communications Department, so you would want to check those out. And remember to subscribe, like, follow, and share. You can watch and listen to programs from our radio station, Word SBC 88.3 FM, and our Adventist television channel, ATV 658. Get updates, insights, and first-hand information from the SBC Media Network as it happens. The programming from ATV 658 can also be viewed on the South Bahamas Conference YouTube channel. So feel free to watch a recap of our Adventist news. On behalf of our production team, it was our pleasure to bring you tonight's news updates. I'm Tamika Fox for the South Bahamas Conference Media Network. Have a happy Sabbath.